important that we talk about it time and time again.
Absolutely.
In order to make people understand how very, very serious this is as an issue. And of course, you've done an excellent job for us in terms of bringing us all kind of information in reference to this issue. But before we get into Street Works, Mr. Crowder, which is the organization that you are the executive director, let's have you to give our audience some information about your background or your education and some of the things that were important that eventually led you to where you are today.
Absolutely. As you know, I am the executive director of Street Works, and I got into this field of work because of my own personal situation. I am a person living with full-blown AIDS, and that's how I got into the work. And what I sit on a number of community forums, and what I realized was there was a gap in services. And that gap we identified was that there was a need to do this type of work within my community and do it in times when, well, what we call non-traditional hours. We know that people do high-risk behavior during late night, weekends, and that kind of thing. So we started the agency to work the streets at night to help reduce the infection rate. And that's how I got into it. We're located over in John Henry Hill Homes. We recently opened a new location at 83 University Course. And we're just in the community to provide information, particularly to communities of color, because those are the communities which is highly impacted by HIV and AIDS.
You know, Ms. Crowder, one thing that when we talk about this as an issue, let's go back to the very, very beginning and to tell our audience exactly what is HIV and AIDS. And I know you've said it time and time again, but give us the causes of it. You see?
HIV stands for Human Immunodeficiency Virus. This is the virus which causes AIDS, and AIDS is Acquired Immune Deficiency Syndrome. Now, there are 3 ways in which a person gets infected with HIV. That's unprotected sex with an infected partner, blood to blood, and that most commonly occurs by sharing needles. And we're talking any type of needles. I know most people associate sharing needles with injection drug use, but we're talking body piercing, which is a fad now that we know. And especially in our community, we have Tattoo John, Tattoo Wayne, and Tattoo whoever. And they can get HIV that way. And the only other way is mother to child. You can be born with it. Those are the only 3 ways you can get it. Then you have 4 body fluids which transmit HIV, which is semen, breast milk, blood, and vaginal fluids. And you have to get one of those fluids of an infected person into your body. Those are the only ways you can get it.
And so there's no casual contact or anything?
Absolutely not. You don't have to worry about it, getting it by drinking after somebody or shaking their hand, giving them a hug, or none of that. Those 3 ways I mentioned earlier, it's the only 3 ways. And in those 4 body fluids, it's the only body fluids which can transmit the virus.
Now, this disease, Ms. Crowder, has had a devastating impact upon the healthcare system, upon individuals, and etc. Let's talk about the impact that this disease has had upon these various elements.
Okay, I mean, we know that with TennCare, I'm thinking that it has a very devastating impact upon the healthcare system, and we can talk about that a little bit more after the commercial break, because I know it's time for a commercial break.
And you know that I don't have any problems interrupting you with it,
Okay.
But we are scheduled to come up for one within the next few seconds. And when we come back, we do want you to talk about some of the impact that this disease is having upon individuals as well as upon the healthcare system. That'll give us about 8 minutes to deal with that as an issue. Of course, we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break. The topic is